Right, welcome, and we're going to do a video now, and this is all about common hand tools that we'll use in plumbing. So I'm just going to scan across these, and then this gentleman here will introduce himself now.
David Kitchen.
He will talk you through what these are. So he's going to pick them up and he's going to go through how they actually function, and I'll describe what they are. And if I scan round the workshop here, and you can see these suede shoes on the red safety zone, if I scan up, and this gentleman will introduce himself.
I'm Darren Howard.
And he's another plumbing tutor, and if I spin round you should be able to see me. My name's Ian Hall, I'm a plumbing tutor as well. So let's get back to the video. Right, so if we come into these here, and Dave will pick this up now, and these are water pump pliers, and what we're going to use these for is getting a grip of a fitting, like a compression fitting or a valve, and you would use those in conjunction with another tool, which is an adjustable spanner, and you would tighten the spanner up. And Darren has just legged it to the actual stores and he's going to get me an adjustable spanner. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and what we're looking for in particular, when you're using these, if you have a look at the teeth, you can see he's got these little red bits of paint stuck in it. So you always want to make sure that these jaws here and these teeth are always nice and clean. You can see this one, full of paint in it. Can you see that? Yeah? Another thing we want to look for is the actual grip itself. So let's have a look at the grip before we look at the adjustable spanner. So is the grip secure? Just want to give them a tug, Dave, see if they're securely attached. They are, aren't they? So they're quite safe to use. It's not going to slip on you. Can we just check on the movement? Right, so you can see those grooves there, and you're going to slide it up and you can adjust it for different sizes. So that's our water pump pliers, and they are used in conjunction with this tool. And we've got an adjustable spanner, and you want to be checking that the actual jaws open and close freely. And it's this wheel here that Dave's just going to move, and if you bring it so it closes completely, Dave, if you can, and if it doesn't move freely, you take that back to the technician in the workshop, and he'll maintain that for you. He'll oil it and put some grease on and make sure it's working properly. So that's adjustable spanner. So we've done two there. We've done a water pump pliers, and we've done adjustable spanner. And Dave's just showing you how to attach that, and like that. Okay, right, so we'll move on to our third. If we move then to the other side of the table, and we'll have a look down, and we'll go for this one here. So this one is a junior hacksaw, and you can see it's a nice steel frame. But the thing we want to be looking at is the actual blade. So you're viewing the condition of the blade, and what we want to do, if we can, very difficult to show on a video, but you want to check if it's straight, and that looks very good. That looks like a nice new blade. Then we're going to hold it up like that, and you're going to look at the teeth. And the teeth need to be in good condition and no teeth missing or anything like that. And they also want to be facing the correct direction. So the teeth want to be pointing in that direction, and there's a straight edge here. So as you drive forward, like that, you're cutting as you go forward, and then as you come back, it's not actually cutting. So Dave will just show you, demonstrate that, under pressure now to get a straight cut. Lovely. There we go. He was under pressure, but there we go. Yeah, that's how we use our junior hacksaw, and it's called a junior because it's small. If we look at the larger one, which is the hacksaw, it's not called a senior hacksaw, it's just a hacksaw. It's exactly the same, but it's just larger, and we use that commonly on steel pipe and some large diameter plastic. Exactly the same measures. Check the blade, check the teeth. And that's how you hold it. One hand at the front and one hand on the handle. Nice and steady. Let the saw do the work. So you're going to use, when you're cutting, you're going to use the full length of the blade, not just keeping the pipe there like that and moving the saw very quickly. Yeah? It wants to go all the way across like that. Okay, so we've done water pump pliers. Here, the water pump pliers, we've done the adjustable spanner, we've done the junior hacksaw, and we've done the hacksaw. What we've got left here on this table are plastic pipe cutters. Now, you've got to be really, really careful when you're using these, and for obvious reasons. Dave opens that up, there's a really, really sharp blade in there, a cutting blade, and we just happen to have some plastic tube here, and Dave will show you how to operate these safely. You notice, David, when he cut that, his fingers were absolutely nowhere near the cutting blade, and that is the lovely straight edge that you get when you've cut it with the correct tool. Right, we'll move on now. As a plumber, you will do some electrical wiring tasks. So, to strip and cut cable and flex, we're going to use this tool, and these are wire snips. And again, we want to check the handle. That's okay. Does it open and close freely? It does. And just check the blade that it's sharp and it is going to go through what you want it to do. So it's quite straightforward. It's going to cut some copper wire for you, that. Okay, so that's that one done. Move on to our hammer. Now we've got a hammer here, and that is a claw hammer. And the claw will be used for lifting nails out of a board, etc. Dave's demonstrating that there. And obviously, I don't want to teach everybody to suck eggs, but a hammer, you're going to hammer something in. Very basic one to check here is the handle. So if you're striking down, is the handle secure or is it going to fly off? And is that one secure, Dave? Yeah, lovely. So a claw hammer, basic tool. Next one, we need to look at the adjustable copper tube cutter. Now, this has got a range of things on it, and I'm just going to zoom in just why you can see straight away this one. See that little pin that was hanging out there? So I've just put that in. That pin holds in this here, which is our cutting wheel. So that cutting wheel, you need to have a look at that before you use it, make sure there's no chips in it. Then we have, inside here, we have some rollers, and they are going to roll round as you move your copper tube inside. Down at the bottom, we have a threaded rod, which is onto this knob here, this turning wheel. We turn that wheel and you can see the jaws are opening, and as he turns it the other way, it will close. Now, this adjustable copper tube cutter will normally cut between 6 and possibly 28mm. It might go up to 35, depending on what size. David is using 22mm copper tube, but before he does that, can I just come to the end here and have a look at the actual diameter of the pipe. Darren, if you grab me a piece of 15mm pipe, please, and I'll just show you the difference in the diameter, because this is something as a plumber you need to be able to master this skill and be able to identify diameter of pipes. So you can see the difference there. There's our 15, and I've moved there 22. If you bring them together, Dave, so you can see there's a massive difference in them. So that shouldn't take too long to be able to master that. So Dave's going to cut one of these tubes now. And what he's doing there is just bringing it in, and if he just moves that there, it's very, very loose at the minute, and every time he turns, he's actually slowly tweaking that control in so it cuts through. So there he goes, turned it, spun it round the tube, turned, spun it round the tube, and eventually you'll hit a point where it's actually cut completely through the tube. There we go, and it's cut, lovely, nice and straight. Final two, we've got the screwdrivers, but before I come to that, we're going to point out another little feature on this adjustable copper tube cutter. See this pointed edge at the bottom? It's not a dagger. What we do with that, when we cut the copper tube, inside here there's what we call an internal burr. So it's cut it and it's squashed the end of the pipe, and it pops up inside. And what it can do, as the water flows through, it can add resistance as the water's flowing through. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that. And you put the sharp edge into the end of the tube and you just spin it round until that internal burr has gone. And that's it. We'll place that down. Now we've got 2 screwdrivers here, and what we're going to check, if you just leave them on the bench just for a minute, Dave, we're going to check both the ends, the handles, and we're going to check if they're secure. Then you're going to look at the shaft and check if they're straight, and then you're going to look at the tip here, and you're going to look at this tip here. So we've got a slotted screwdriver, and then here we've got, I can't see what that is that Philip? A Posi Driver there. Right, so David's just going to show you now how to check the handle. So that seems secure. Does the tip look okay, in good condition? Let's just come in a little bit.
That tip needs cleaning.
Right, so wants cleaning. Now if you can't get it off with a rag, obviously you might want to get a bit of wire wool if it's just paint or something. But that looks better. So let's have a look at the Posi Driver now. Just check the shaft and the handle. And then we're going to investigate the tip. So we're going to clean that with a rag and just check the end. Now, on a Posi Driver, you've got like a cross of 4. What you want to be looking at is the actual tip itself to see if it's in good condition. Because what it's going to do, it's going to go and sit inside a screw. And you're going to tighten it up or loosen a screw with that. So it all looks in good condition. So what we'll do here now, we'll lay all the tools out. You can see that one is working lovely. And I'm going to go straight from the beginning again. And we've got water pump pliers, adjustable spanner, junior hacksaw, plastic cutters, wire snips, claw hammer, adjustable copper tube cutter, and 2 screwdrivers, a flathead and a Posi drive. You'll get asked some questions about these tools, and you will be asked questions about how to maintain them and make sure they're safe for you. So please refer back to this video regularly.